Okay, welcome you guys. Thank you so much for hopping on the call tonight. Embers, you'll be proud of me. I finally figured out how to get this version of PowerPoint in the full screen mode. Tonight, we're going to be talking about ranks and responsibilities and kind of expectations that you might place on yourself when you move up the ranks in the business. And let's make this an interactive call. But let's first start with some important announcements. Okay, so we have to quickly shout out these amazing, amazing Success Club leaders because it is the beginning of the month, and we never know on like the first and the second and the third what those final numbers are because there's a little bit of a delay in our Coach Online office. So I usually wait a few days before I pull the report. And so I just wanted to shout out Jessica, Emily, Lindsay, and Johnny, which is Jen's husband, for hitting Success Club 10 and having amazing numbers at the slowest time of year for our business. Like corporate-wide, people are feeling the heat right now every single year. It's an annual kind of reoccurrence. And to be pulling Success Club numbers like this is amazing. And then also Brianna and Chris and Kristen and Kara and Julie, Mary, Jen, Brian, Rebecca, Sandy, Jake, and Patricia for hitting Success Club 5. Just a quick little shout out there. Okay, please, you guys, please look at the pinned post in Team Play Hard. Those are things that I want you guys to be putting on your business calendars. And I want to thank many of you. Copy and paste this in your own team pages, or you make your own and you pull from here on your own team page. So please communicate these important things and make sure you're tagging because I cannot tag everybody. I assume that you guys are going to be checking the pinned post. The pinned post in Team Play Hard is like the headline news in your Coach Online office. These are our team's headline news. So I just want to highlight like 3 or 4 of them right now, but you guys need to make sure you're aware of all of them and they're all on your calendar. First, there's a contest for October. It's team-wide. So often I am rewarding only my personally sponsored coaches, and we'll talk to that when I get into the Diamond and Star Diamond responsibility at the end of this call. But I'm often like strategically recognizing just some of my personally sponsored coaches. But this is going to be a team-wide contest where I am going to put out a major gift for the highest point earner. So track your own points. There's a little graphic in the pinned post, just see it. Okay, today is a week away from the behind the scenes sneak peek that Emily and Lindsay and Neil worked on last month. It was so incredible. So today is a week in advance. You guys need to start inviting. That's the second star here, October 5th. So how many of you guys, and I can't see you all right now, so you can unmute yourself. How many of you listened to Carl or watched him stream live today on the National Wake Up Call? Wasn't that cool that he streamed live? So I'm going to download, if you didn't already see it, the document, the calendar for October, November, December with the 3 invites per day. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but I'm going to post it in the files of Team Play Hard when I finish this call tonight. But seriously, those 3 slots, those are you inviting. Those, apply that to this. Invite to the sneak peek, and it starts next Monday. And Emily's not going to let anyone in, and I totally support that philosophy. She's not going to let you in late. So get your inviting in, and don't be the one saying, oh, I know you guys already started and it's Tuesday, but can I please, I have a really good prospect. Don't be that coach. Be the one that's inviting tomorrow, and you have them all in there by Sunday night, okay? And then have a plan for Super Saturday. All right, let's move on. Okay, we're going to start with coach rank. So first, look at the bottom where it says in yellow, coach, you are a student. So no matter where you are in your business, whether you're on this call tonight live or whether you're watching the recording, if you are a vet coach that's been around for a while, do you remember the feelings in your belly when you were a brand new coach? I definitely remember feeling terrified, kind of like buyer's remorse, like, oh no, what have I done? What if I fail? Like, just anxiety about, oh my gosh, look at what some of these leaders are doing. I remember looking to Holly Heierman and being like, oh, I could never lead a webinar. I could never do a PowerPoint presentation. I just felt intimidated to the bone over what the more advanced leaders in the company were doing. So I just want to say, if you're a new coach, take a breath. You're a student and you don't need to know how to do those things right now. And when you need to know, you will know. And you will know what steps to take, and you will have the mentorship to get there. Have you guys seen that Keep Calm and Drink Shakeology little, Keep Calm and Drink Shakeology? I wanted to put that graphic in here. You're a new coach. Breathe. I know it's overwhelming. I know it's daunting to start. And the best way to kind of tackle your jitters or anxiety or fears is to get to work. And for you, getting to work is doing new coach training. So we have Team Play Hard is growing at an awesome rate and in a very quality way. There are 3 Star Diamonds that I've personally sponsored that are on the team. So Emily's a Star Diamond, and you'll see when we get to the Star Diamond and Diamond ranks and responsibilities, you'll see where this fits in a little bit more. Jen Fuji's a Star Diamond. Kara Churchill's a Star Diamond. So those of you that are in those organizations, you're going to be looking up to your Diamond and your Star Diamond for what new coach training do you want me in. So you want to be doing a training, you're a student. You want to be connecting with people. So whether you're brand new to social media, whether you're a shy person or whether you're an extrovert, as a new coach, your role is to start growing your base of connections, just meeting new people every day. I think Carl talked about that today too. You want to hit Success Club. You want to start that habit right away. If you don't know how to get Success Club points, just comment when we post this in the team page, and your upline will spell those out for you. I think you guys all know, unless you're a brand new coach watching. And you want to make the 3 vital behaviors an absolute habit. So you are being a product of the product, you are inviting, and you are doing your personal development. Did you guys all see my long emotional post this morning that I posted on Team Play Hard? I hope that you took the time to read it. And I was reflecting on recently, I've called a lot of attention to Emily's success because it's been quite obvious the way her team has really exploded. And a lot of attention has been drawn to, because she did the call on it, this branding and the social media and the culture that she's built. But I wanted to take a step back and think about the things that I've been hearing her say over and over and over, and things I keep hearing her say where I went at Summit, I had this clear vision at Summit, she's connecting to corporate at Summit. I became addicted to personal development, and I changed the way I branded myself on social media. So I don't think it's all about what she's done on social media. I think there's also, she went to the corporate event, she became addicted to personal development. And in my mind and in my own journey, and I'm confident in teaching to this team, is that when you become addicted to personal development, the lows that you're going to have in this business, they don't veer you off course. They don't. It's your compass. Your personal development keeps your head focused and strong, no matter what season you're in with the business, and no matter how many no's you're getting or how discouraged you might feel. So these things, these bullet points, they apply to all the other ones. So just because doing the 3 vital behaviors, you won't see it on the next few slides, doesn't mean that, oopsie, I went backwards. there it is. Doesn't mean stop doing the vital behavior. So you won't see that on the next slide, but it's a given. It's a given that you're continuing to be a product of the product, and you're continuing to do personal development, and you're continuing to invite. So that brings us to Emerald Rank. You are definitely in the groove of running monthly challenge groups. You might be doing them bi-monthly, you might be doing them once a month, but you are in the groove. That has become a habit. You're teaching duplication, and I wanted to say to you guys boldly that if you can become Emerald, you can become Diamond. It's really not that different. If you can get 2 coaches enrolled, you can become Diamond. It's just a matter of duplicating. And I'm not simplifying it. I'm not trying to say, oh, it's a piece of cake, pie in the sky. But I'm saying I want to empower you that you can, absolutely. You're starting to build your brand. And if you did not watch the replay of the call that Emily and Lindsay did on Wednesday, I think you all did. That's an incredible call, and I really highly encourage you guys to watch that on building your brand. And you're starting to get organized, and by that I mean, as an Emerald, you have a system, you have a calendar system, and you have an office space. And if you don't have the room in your house to have an office space, you have a space. Even if it's the chair in your living room or your kitchen table, you have a space, you are organized. Oh, I know what I wanted to preface this with something else. In preparation for this team call, I went back and I watched one of the summit replays from 2014 with Christine Dwyer, and she talks about how rank, because I'm talking about rank here tonight, right? Rank and responsibilities. Rank doesn't always mean success. It doesn't always mean money. And so it's really important that you guys know that. I'm going to tell you, and this is, Christine said it, like, there are many diamond coaches that are just hobbyists. That's not a diss, doesn't matter, maybe that's what they want to be, but they're making like $18 cycle bonus every week. That's not, so when I talk about diamonds and star diamonds being, their own business owners, it's not always the case. And you can have, you can be a 2-star and make more money than someone that's a 5-star. It's about the quality. You could be a massive recruiter and have a huge team, and then you can have a smaller team that is more quality, and you can be earning more money. So rank and bank are not always equal. And I guess I wanted to sort of preface the call with that. Okay, and let's go ahead, before I move on, and have you guys unmute if you don't mind, and let me know if you have any questions or comments about coach, rank, or new coach training or anything, and Emerald Rank.
Throw out.
So, hi. So, I would say for coach rank, even if you're a coach, one of the number one things you need to do is find someone that you connect well with, that pushes you, that will be a good success partner. Like, I think that having a success partner that pushes you is probably one of the number one things that you need to do. So you need to find someone that's somewhere where you're at your same rank, that wants it as much as you do. And sometimes that means not within your same, whatever, they're not within your same small team, like you can branch out and find somebody else. But I think that that's been one of my biggest things for me. And I know, Ellen, you've had some really, like CJ, and I mean, you've had some really amazing people that have pushed you as well. So that's huge.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Emily. And I did mention that in my emotional long post today.
Yeah, you did.
Because that was another thing that I feel like is a very key component to where Emily and her team have gone, is that she has someone, and I like to say, matches your stride. It doesn't have, it's not a cheerleader. It's someone who shares your vision and work ethic. It doesn't matter if your personalities are different, and you might mismatch yourself at some point, and it might be a seasonal a partner, and you might need to play around with it. You might need to get out of it doesn't have to be on your same team. In fact, there's some benefits to the fact that CJ is not on my team, because it's just, yes, and in the wall, where it's 5 to 15 star diamonds, you guys, often 5 to 15 star diamonds are posting in there, hey, I've got this 1-star diamond coach on my team. She's, very organized and type A. She's super motivated. She's a full-time job or blah, 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 whatever. I'm looking for a good match for her. Does anyone have any suggestions? So reach up to me, reach up to Emily, reach up to your upline diamond, reach up. We can help partner you with someone. It's vitally important to the health of your business. This is not a solo thing, you guys. This is just not a solo. It's all about.
And you can go it as a solo thing, but you'll never get as far. And if you have someone that's supporting you and really, pushing you, you will never get as far.
That's right. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on to Ruby Diamond. And then the next slide, just so you know, is Diamond, Star Diamond, because there can be some overlapping in there. So this is where you are really creating culture and mindset. I recently was listening to a call from some leaders, and they were saying that with their team, they require that, let me see if I can mute this call. There, that's a little bit clearer. Okay, they were saying like they set up the culture on their team from day one. They don't want any of their coaches working on the weekend. They want their coaches taking the weekends off. And so that's like become part of their team's culture. There's no right or wrong. It's okay to work on the weekend, but that's something that's important to their culture. And I think that's a really great example of things that are specific to a specific team. Emily, what are some things you're doing on your team that are unique that are not happening on Team Play Hard? They're only happening in your group. Culture-wise.
Culture-wise, well, we're definitely a different group than the whole of Team Play Hard, but as we've explained before, we really are trying to find our tribe. So by our tribe, it's moms that are kind of, we really enjoy humor, and so we really sometimes post things on our team page that are just really silly, and it works for us because that's our team. So what you need to establish if you're a leader and you're going to start your own team is who you are, so you can kind of establish a team culture within your team. Like, no one is going to have the same team culture that Team Fierce Transformations has. It's just impossible. We have, a set, a crew of people that's going to be completely different than yours. So you need to kind of decide who you are and who you're trying to attract. And then once you have them attracted to you, you display that on your team page. And that's who you are.
Yeah, an example that I thought of is like,
don't talk about poop.
Well, no, I was kind of so like when my voice when I'm posting in Team Play Hard, not necessarily when I'm commenting and kind of being more me, or if I'm privately messaging my coaches or boxing my coaches or talking on the phone with my coaches, but my like posting voice, I try to be like professional. And I don't know why, I just kind of like try to be like, no bones about it, like blah, and not a ton of like my personality coming out, but more like this is business. And that's not wrong, that's not right, it's just the way I'm doing my culture, and so like not a lot of emojis and not a ton of stickers, like, you know what I mean? And like Emily is like she'll like go so far as to use the poop emoji. Like, who uses the poop emoji? But it works, and like there is a totally different vibe when I'm able to peer in, and I'll talk about that in the next slide, well, maybe I'll talk about it on this slide actually. There's a different vibe, and it's not, mine's not wrong, hers isn't wrong. It's just, it's actually awesome to me that it's different. And I just want to empower you and those of you watching the replay to just find you, be you. And when you're at this rank, you're starting to foster your vibe and energy. So I would say the time to set up your own team page is when you're diamond. You have 12 coaches in your team. You have a tribe. You have a tribe. You have a dozen. You have a dozen eggs when you're a diamond. And I would say, I would encourage you, and you're your own boss and you don't report to me, but I would encourage you as you're fostering your tribe and fostering your vibe to try to limit it to your downline, because you want it to be your culture. And if you have someone else in there, so like, I think it's wise to have a success partner in there. Like CJ is not part of my team, but she's my success partner and she's in Team Play Hard. She takes a very, very passive role. You'll almost never see her post. If she does, it's because she's bounced her ideas off me and said, do you mind if I post this on your team page? Or I've asked her, will you post that on my team page? So she's really in the background. So she's not part of our team's culture. She's my success partner. And I want her to sharpen me, so I need her to see what's happening in my page. So you could have your upline in there. That's just my encouragement to you guys for you creating you. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions or comments about that at all? Before we move on to the next bullet point. No. Yeah.
I would just say also you need to make your team page an environment where absolutely anyone, any discount coach or anyone feels completely comfortable to post. I think that that's one of the major things that when most coaches are talking about, oh, my team page, like there's really nothing on there. You need to establish an environment where it's not like, I'm the leader and you guys are my, it's like, no, I'm not the lead. We're a team. We're in this together. Like you are just, and I think Team Play Hard does a really good job of that as well, where absolutely anyone, any discount coach or anyone feels comfortable to post anything. But I think that that's a huge thing, that anyone should feel completely comfortable at any time to post.
I agree, and I think sometimes we forget, I think we need to filter everything we post on our team page as anyone could be reading this. A brand new coach could be reading this. So even if I'm posting the link to the team call, do they know that I want them on? They might think they don't. Do you guys remember how intimidating it was to get on Zoom when you never had done it before? I was afraid, like, what if I don't do it right? Well, I didn't know you just click a button, So I agree. And then focusing on leadership at this level. So I alluded to this in my post earlier today too. Leaders, because you are a leader, Ruby, you have a tribe. You should be focusing your time and energy on the top 20% of your downline. And I don't mean you're personally sponsored. I mean your whole downline. So those of you that have because you might, as a Ruby and Diamond, you might have a grandbaby coach. So they might be a worker. So like Kristen DeVoe is on this call tonight. She's like 4 levels down from me. So it goes Heather, Nashaba, Kristen, 3 levels down. And she's a worker, so she's part of my top 20. Like you want to ascertain as you're creating your own tribe and really being an established leader at these 2 ranks, you want to constantly be looking for your top 20, which are who's on your team page, who's posting, who's commenting, who's on the team calls, who's listening to the National Wake Up Call and posting what their takeaways are, that kind of thing. You need to recognize and reward your team, and be aware, please, if you're new and listening to this, that sometimes the higher level coaches, because elite is a goal, premier and elite is a goal, often we need to be recognizing our personally sponsored coaches, and sometimes are personally sponsored coaches that are only a year old in the business. So that is, like, for me, for example, that's a very wise business move for me to view and focus my rewards on my personally sponsored who hit Success Club, especially the ones that have hit it in the last year. So just know that. Also, another reason I'm big on that is because I feel like as leaders come up underneath me, it's their job to recognize and reward their downline as we create duplication. So okay, and then lead, develop, and goal set with your team. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but it touches on the fact what Emily said earlier. We can't do the business alone well. It has to be a team. We have to foster and rally and go arm in arm together for success. So before I move on to the last slide, are there any comments or questions about that? Okay. I'm trying to move on to the next slide. Embers, I need you. There. Okay, diamond and star diamonds. And remember what I said earlier, and actually it was from Christine, is, you know, there are diamond coaches that are hobbyists, but look at what it says in yellow, diamond and star diamond, you are a business owner. But remember that it doesn't, I mean, some diamonds are still treating the business like it's a hobby, and some are treating it like they're their own CEO. So you're deciding which at this rank you want to be. And this is the kind of stuff I was mentioning in the beginning of the call, saying like scares the pants off of a new coach. It's like, what do you mean I'll never create my own team training. Like, what do you mean? That's not in me. And I want to encourage you and say, I felt that way. I felt that way completely. I was like, well, I love this business. I love the idea of helping others. I love the idea of changing lives and making an income, but I don't ever see myself being someone that could like create a team training or do anything like that. I'll just ride Holly Hireman's coattails. I'll just continue to ride her coattails forever. But, you know, like I said, when you're ready to learn that next step, then you're ready and you will. And you have so much support on this team to take you by the hand and show you and guide you to the very next step of your business. So you're creating your own training systems. You're digging deep into your downline, deep. Like you're digging deep, looking for who are the leaders. And you're wanting to have diamond grandbabies and great grandbabies that are diamonds. You're hosting your own team calls. Or you're leading team calls on My Team Call. And you're delegating, and it's so important to delegate because we need to empower our newer leaders. So we want to give them responsibility, and we want to continue to foster that we are never a one-man show. And finally, we're connecting to corporate. And what I mean there is not just the corporate events like the Super Saturdays and the summits and the, you know, platinum edges and the I don't know what I was going to say. Super Saturday, I already said that. But what I really mean here is at this level, I think it's Joe Cardon that many of you are working with. I think Emily and Lindsay and Kara and Brian and I think all the diamonds are working with him. Is that right? Is that a group, Emily?
Yeah, so we have these diamond mastermind calls, and it's anyone that's diamond or one-star diamond. We have weekly calls with him where we discuss different best practices, and we had to sign up for topics, and we have to lead our own topics. So it's really kind of neat to have to get outside your comfort zone and then become an expert in one of these areas. And then you learn so much from these other, you know, diamond and star diamonds that are doing these things that are just like, whoa, wow. And then you want that for your team as well. So all it does is just, it lights a fire within you to, get on their level at these different places. So they're really fantastic. And I'm really excited to go to the 2 to 5 star diamond calls.
I know.
I can't wait. I'm like, if this is this good, I want to see what they're doing.
Yeah. So I didn't have that as a diamond or as a 1 star. I didn't have that. There wasn't Joe, and I don't think there was that training system in place. If there was, I never knew about it. And then suddenly there was, and I don't remember my rank, but I got in with the 2 to 5 star mastermind, and it's the same kind of thing, and it's a weekly mastermind, and it's pretty exclusive, and it's incredible training. It's blowing me away. Anything great that I'm teaching you guys, I'm just getting from someone else who's been doing it better, And
they've broken, Joe's amazing. Like, what a cool guy. And he's breaking down what Premier is and Elite is and really making all of us want it. And it's when you are a new coach, it's like, what? That's not ever happening. And then all of a sudden you have these calls with this guy and you're like, whoa, this could be somewhat attainable. Like, to be an elite coach, he breaks it down how you do it. It's fantastic. So it's one of the coolest things that I've done thus far with Beachbody, for sure.
Yeah. What was I going to say about the elite coach thing? Oh, just when you surround yourself in the culture. So whether you're doing one of these masterminds, or you're talking to your success partner, or you're showing up on the team page, hi Jake, I didn't even know you were on. Hi Tasha, you guys popped on while I was on, Carolyn's on, all you guys popped on while I was in the presentation mode. I'm glad I stopped sharing so I could see you guys. When you surround yourself with people that are better than you or want things with the same intensity that you want things, it is so inspiring and it sharpens us so much. So, what are you guys doing and who are you surrounding yourself with? And be the squeaky wheel, like be the one, make your upline notice you and make sure your upline knows you want this, because we're all busy, and the leaders on this team want to mentor those of you that want it. And make that apparent to us. Make that a little bit easier for us to see. Like, are you a hobbyist and you just want to, kind of dabble in this and stick one toe in the water, or are you all in? Because I want to find those of you that are all in. I want to find those of you that are all in. And I don't care if you're 6 levels under my business center and you live in Timbuktu. You don't need to live in Oregon. I want to find you guys and mentor you. And I know that I speak for the other diamonds on the team. I know that I speak for Christy. I know that I speak for Fuji and Danielle and Brian and Kara and Emily and Lindsay and Tia and Heather Aiello. I know I speak for all of them when I say that. That's just my encouragement tonight is it's scattered. To be honest, it's scattered. So my encouragement, if you're new, is take a breath, be calm, and just drink Shakeology. It's gonna be okay. It's a wild, crazy ride, but it is not as scary as it looks, especially when you're in a team that has great leaders that want to take you by the hand. I didn't have that. I didn't have that myself. And you guys do have that. You have that in spades, because there's more than just me. There's a lot of leaders on this team with a lot of different gifts. So take advantage of that. It's not that intimidating. You'll be surprised at what's in you. Like, I never thought I'd be leading a Zoom call. Let's see, what else? Get that success partner, you guys. Find someone that matches your fervor and intensity. I've been setting up weekly Zooms that are pointed with my leaders, that are just pointed strategic business calls. If you want this business badly, then make sure you're on my radar for that, or your Upline Diamonds radar for a weekly 15-minute check-in. I guess let's open it up for questions, and then I'll keep recording because sometimes these questions are great, and the responses are great. So, all right, open it up. Unmute.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
I recognize that this is a really big question. Okay. So, and I think the answer is going to vary depending on the person. But what is a realistic time frame to rank these different steps? Does that make sense? Like, because I'll be honest, I want to hit diamond. So what is a realistic time frame for me to be shooting for that at being emerald right now?
Do you want me to go first? I'll go first. It definitely does depend on who's in your life, and you know, it's not one size fits all. So my size won't fit all. I hit diamond in 86 days. Yeah, I was. Well, I already had a strong brand. Like, we don't all start at the same place. Some people start, and on day one, they have to build their brand from day one, and that can take months. It can take years. I already had a strong brand in our community as a go-to person for health and fitness. So that's it's not fair, you guys. It's not a level playing field. So you just have to take where you're at and make the best of it. And so I was fortunate in that.
It's stupid.
Sorry about my echo. Let me try to mute and maybe that'll fix it. So, you know, I think that I listened to a call recently where it was one of the Best of the West calls, and I can't remember if it was Raina Odell or who. It doesn't matter. It was one of our top coaches. There's only been 8 or 9 lessons, and one of them said they hit diamond in like 30 days. And oh, sorry about that echo. Can you hear it?
Double the information, no big deal.
Okay, it's still there. Well, anyway, I'll just talk through it. They said that they told every new coach that they can do it within 30 days because they had to create that expectation that it was possible. So my echo's too bad. One of you other leaders take it.
You want me to say something? Am I echoing too? Yeah. What about mute everyone? Mute everyone.
That fixed it.
Go in and mute everyone and all unmute and it should take care of it.
Yeah, it's good. It's fixed.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. So I initially, the first time I went diamond, it was pretty similar to, I remember Ellen and I having a conversation. It was pretty similar to how long it had taken her to get to diamond. But I had, really shown my weight loss journey on social media for all to see. So it was kind of, I wasn't a fitness person, but people wanted what I was doing because I had lost a whole bunch of weight on social media and they'd seen it. But I think there is literally not a correct answer for that. Like, no one will ever know how Kristen is going to get to diamond, when she's going to get to diamond. And I know you want to be able to say like, okay, so by 4 weeks, because I get it. You're that person, like 4 weeks from now, I will be able to So being a diamond is not just about you getting coaches. It's about being able to inspire other people to want to be emerald and be coaches themselves. So it's much more intense than just 4 weeks, It's very complicated. So I think with your chutzpah and everything that you have, it's not, you're an emerald now with 2 coaches.
Yeah.
I would say you could get there within a couple of months. Okay. You just need to find people. You need to attract people to you that are like you, and you need to inspire them to want to do what you're doing, and you'll get there, no problem.
Sweet. Okay, so you said the first time you went diamond. So can you expound on that? Diamond more than once? What can you lose rank? Like,
yes. So, and one of the things when you're just kind of like rank, that's, I'm a competitive person. So I wanted rank and I wasn't really thinking about it being strong and then you can very easily lose rank and it happens all the time. And then that's a very discouraging thing, especially for someone that's rather new. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I hit it. And then it's like, now what?
Yeah.
So I would say more important than diamond rank is really getting a great foundation of coaches that you love and care about and that are, you know, and don't worry as much about rank.
Okay.
Like I think that rank, yeah, it feels, I'm back after what, 17 months or something. It's been months to get it back. But I feel really good about it and it's not going anywhere.
Cool. Thank you.
Christy, will you talk about what it was like for you to get to Diamond?
Yeah, I was a discount coach for 6 months, I guess, before I started really working the business. I signed up for the discount and I got hooked on PIO and decided to start teaching. And so that was my focus, was on getting certified and starting my classes. I was teaching through a fit club at our church and just trying to get that established. And then once I sort of had gotten my little group of people that were coming to my classes, that was where I got my first group of coaches. And then it really wasn't until I started having my own physical transformation that other people started noticing. And then it kind of just took off for me because I think a little similar to what Emily was saying is that when the people that you're around every day see the changes in not just your physical changes, but also, I mean, I had a tremendous change in my attitude and in my outlook toward life and things like that. So it just really, I got to where my coworkers were asking me, what's going on with you? What are you doing? And that was when my team started to grow. But also right about that same time, I was invited to participate in a Diamond Mind training with CJ. Actually, I was opened up to our group. And so that was really intense. And it was, she was playing hardball with us. It was, if you didn't do your homework, she kicked you out, period. That was how it was. So, and the homework was a lot. It was a good hour every day. And there were a few times where she would give us a couple catch-up days or something to try and get back on track. But it was a lot of work, but that was what really propelled me forward, was going through that. And so I think a lot of it's just making that commitment and setting aside that power hour. And we had a really good team call with Fuji about our power hour, but also a couple weeks ago, I think it was the 14th, maybe, there was a national wake up call on that. And I really recommend that you get a hold of those two pieces of personal development and take some good notes, because that power hour will get away from you. If you don't have it set, I'm going to do this, 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 and this, and literally 10 minutes for this, 20 minutes for that, 15 minutes for this, because the next thing you know, you're sitting there and 3 hours have gone by and you haven't finished the first 3 things on your list. So I don't know if sorry, I probably talked too long.
No, you didn't. You didn't talk too long at all. And I want to say something else about Christy. She also is utterly and totally consistent regardless of the outcome. So she will put out a team newsletter. She will post in her team. Like, there's a couple other leaders that are like, well, I post on my team page, but nobody responds back. There's no activity. So that makes the leader want to, naturally, they don't really want to hear from me, so I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to post. She just, was relentless in her consistency. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. I'm keep going. And I really think that helps a lot. She does have a great team culture. She really has developed that. And on the power hour thing, I was talking to Jembers yesterday, I think, about the back cleaning. Do you ever you have 1 hour to clean your house and you need to do 3 hours worth of work? Because and you do it anyway, you get 3 hours worth of house cleaning done in 1 hour because your husband's coming home and you want him to think you worked for 4 hours all day cleaning the house. That's your power hour. It's you get as much as humanly possible done. Trina Gray talks about it too. She's a full-time job. She is 1 power hour a day to be the top 15-star, multiple 15-star coach that she is. Oh, I wanted to say a couple other things that I thought of really quickly back to the slides. Please add your discount coaches to the team page. Please. They often end up wanting to be, once they see that it's a family, your team page or my team page, they are attractive. They're families. There's love in there and community, and people lack that, and it's attractive. And then our products are amazing. So they're falling in love with our products. They're discount coaches. Please expose them to it. They can silence the notifications if they're annoying. And then I wanted to say about Star Diamonds. The thing about the Star Diamonds, that a Star Diamond means they can replicate a leader. So always be looking to the Star Diamonds too for how to train, not just build your own empire, but how to teach others to do the same. More comments, more questions, guys?
So I just had a comment on the power hour. I noticed a lot of the time when I was, working my power hour, it would turn into a Facebook scroll or this or that, and the hour was over, and it's oh, whoops, my hour is over. In all reality, what you want to do for your power hour, put on personal development in the background and talk to people. Talk to people, build relationships. That's what this is about. This is not about sending generic invites to people. This is about building relationships and creating trust. And that's the only way that you're going to get challengers and eventually coaches. So that's what I've done with my power hour, and it's seeming to work.
I like how Emily said on her call last week about how inviting is just basically loving people. Sorry, I'm paraphrasing, but that she's not inviting to a challenge group, and people end up coming to her and asking, okay, what are you doing? And that's happened to me too. I get messages in my Facebook inbox regularly from people that have just had eyes on me for a long time. Jimmy Hayes Nelson just did a video that I saw a couple days ago. It reminded me of what Emily said. And he lost 100 pounds. He kept it off for 10 years. And he consistently walks the talk, lost 100 pounds, kept it off 10 years. He says every single day in his inbox, someone is crying out to him for help, because that day they were ready. Because for all these years, and granted he's been a coach forever, all these years, people have been watching him. And they're just showing up in his inbox. Now I'm ready. Okay, we should wrap because it's been almost an hour. I was going to finish with one more thing on my emotional post that I wrote today about don't look at your paycheck. Like if I were to do the math when I started out, thank God for the compound effect and how it put these different lenses on my eyes so that I wasn't working for the bank account. I was trying to see people and how many lives I could change. And I wasn't saying, well, I worked this many hours each day, but my paycheck was only this, because I would have despaired. So it's like, how can I say that more articulately, you guys? I wrote it just in the post today. It's just the money comes later as it's like a byproduct of you doing work up front. There's so much front end work. And a lot of it's fun and rewarding and enjoyable, and we love it a lot. Most of what we do, we love. Some of it's work, And that's another encouragement I have for you tonight is just don't get discouraged by that. Don't count how many hours you worked and how much you got paid. Not in the beginning. It'll turn on its head later. And I'm like, then it'll flip later where you're like, this is how much I worked and look at how much I got paid for that in time with consistency. Can
I add something?
Please.
In one of the trainings that I listened to or watched, I can't remember what, somebody said, whoever it was that was talking said this, and it really stuck out to me. He or she, I don't remember. They said, it's amazing how an eyelash jumped into my eye. That's what they said. It's amazing how people are willing to work for 20, 30 to 40 years, paycheck to paycheck, flat broke. But 3 to 5 years working a business to see a good financial return is too long. And when they said that, something just clicked. And I was like, I can give this 3 to 5 years. I can totally do that. I can change people's lives for 3 to 5 years and eventually see that instead of living paycheck to paycheck flat broke, So I don't know. It really inspired and encouraged me. So I just thought I'd share. I don't know if anybody else had heard that anywhere too, but yeah.
That's an awesome note to end on.
Cool.
All right, you guys, that's a wrap. Love you guys. I'm going to San Diego. I'm going to leadership. I'm hoping for good news, Embers. I'm hoping for good news. I'm hoping we're going international.
Woohoo!
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.